Hello and welcome to the Parker Street Food Company. My name is Damien and today I'm going to be showing you how to make our beautiful beetroot relish. This is a recipe that we've been making for years and people often ask us about this. It's a great thing to make at this time of year, coming into May, beautiful preserving time, and it's a great way to encapsulate all of this wonderful product in a jar so that you can have it throughout the winter. I'm going to go through the ingredients with you, talk you through it, and then we'll have a look at the process of making this beetroot relish. So over here, our flavours and our sugars and our vinegars. We've got our brown sugar, we're using white wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, we've got some onions, we have a Granny Smith apple, some salt, and in here our aromats. I'm using star anise and ground cloves today. This here I think is the great part of the recipe where you can interchange those spices to make it your own, something that you really enjoy. You know, you like a bit of cinnamon, add the cinnamon to it. You're not so keen on the star anise, just leave it out. And of course the beetroots. Now this recipe is done in a few stages and I've done that today. So we'll start by looking at the beetroots. We're going to pop these whole. Now they've been trimmed and washed. We're going to pop them whole into my pot back here of cold water. And I'm going to bring that up to the boil and we're going to cook that for about 20 minutes or so. That's going to do two things. It's going to soften the skins and allow us to peel those, rub those skins off easily, but also it's going to cook the beetroot slightly, which is going to speed up the recipe and allow us to retain that beautiful colour throughout the relish. So while those are on there, I'll talk you through what I've done back here. Now, with these ingredients here, I've added my vinegar, my sugar, my onions here, which are finely diced. I've peeled and grated my apple, and that's gone in there as well with my aromats and my salt. And I've just brought that up to the boil, and then I've been simmering that for about 10 minutes or so, just to soften those onions and soften the apples in there as well. And that's been ticking away while those beetroots have been cooking in there like so, and the smell is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so those beetroots that have been ticking away back here, what I've done is I've taken them, I've rubbed the skins off them here, and I've grated them again with the same grater, and like I said before, this allows them to soften a little bit, so when they get into the liquid here, the cooking process is shorter, allowing to retain that colour. So in there like so, we'll just mix that around and I'm going to pop that back onto the heat. Now that's going to cook for about 20 minutes or so, so keep your eye on it just to make sure that it doesn't evaporate too much. If you feel that it's getting a little dry and it's still cooking, just add a bit of water to it and that'll just slow that process down, allow it to retain the moisture, and then by the time the relish is cooked, everything will be in check. So, with those two things on the go, this here is my finished product. Now I'm going to try and see if I can find the 3 star anise. 1, well maybe I can't find them now. 2, and there's a 3rd one in there. We'll let that go for the moment and hopefully that'll reveal itself as we go along. So this here, you can see the consistency here. A little bit of liquid going on. Beautiful colour. Nice and vibrant, and we'll just check that flavour that goes with it as well. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so that's ready to go into the jar. We're going to hot fill our jars. So this has come off the heat. Over here, I have my jars, which I've popped into the oven. And these have been in the oven for about 180 degrees for about 10 minutes or so, upside down, so we can sterilise those jars. Taking my trusty funnel, and before I use that, I'm just going to pop on a pair of gloves, you know, and when we're preserving these sorts of things for long-term storage, we want to make sure that we minimise the opportunity to add any bacteria or anything to the product. So if I take my jar like so, in with my funnel, and now I can start to hot fill. And if I just take this off here, what we'll do is that we'll just tap out the jar, removing any air from the product as we go along. I'm just going to take my tea towel here and just wipe the rim just to make sure that that rim is clean before we then take our lid and seal those jars. Now, because they're hot filled, as they cool, they'll create a vacuum in there which is going to allow the product to last longer in your larder. If you wanted to at this point here, you could all go through a canning process in a hot water bath. That's another day. There is our beautiful beetroot relish. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and I look forward to sharing many more recipes with you.